Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Thursday, September 14th. We're standing at the Polderbaan. And here's the first airplane on arrival. Polderbaan, once again, the runway used for arrivals. At the moment, the only runway in use for arrivals, but I'm thinking later in the morning, runway 18C will also open as a secondary runway. Kaagbaan is reopened again, so departures currently take place from Kaagbaan, runway 24, and from 18 left. We have a little bit of wind blowing from the southeast, as you guys can see in the meter, in the ticker. 4 knots, 150 degrees. It is KVK, 13 degrees Celsius, a bit cooler than it was earlier in the week. Time to put the jeans back on instead of the shorts and also wear a coat. 13 degrees Celsius, the dew point 12 degrees Celsius. Still high pressure building up. We are expecting to get better weather and also a bit warmer weather in the upcoming weekend. So yeah. In the meantime, goedemorgen Jackie, and thank you so much for your 3rd month of AMS Live membership. Goedemorgen Sander, goedemorgen Remco, Vinny, good morning. Kevin, good morning. 6828, good morning. And all other viewers who have joined us in the meantime, good morning to you too. We have a 777 coming in. China Southern Cargo, arriving from Chongqing. Flight 2577. Its current flight time is nearly 11 hours, 10 hours and 58 minutes. The airplane is 14 years old. First flight was in March 2009. And somewhere behind it there should also be a Boeing 737-700 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle. Visible over there. Let's frame it in the top left corner. Hey there Eversteria, good morning. Hope everybody is doing alright on this Thursday morning. Lovely use of the reversers there. You can also see in the foreground that there are plenty of birds over here once again. Now the bird control vehicle was in the area earlier as I was setting up, near the fire station. I have to say I'm not sure where it is right now. I'm looking around me, but I'm not seeing it right away. But as you guys can imagine, we might be up for some fireworks later this morning, considering the amount of birds that you guys just saw over there. Malaysia Airlines, good morning. Maxine, goedemorgen. Leo, goedemorgen. RDW, goedemorgen. Dale, good morning buddy. Arnoud, goedemorgen. Pyro Team Pumba, goedemorgen. Good morning Tina, happy Thursday to you too. Now, got a little 737 in the foreground, and in the background, turning onto the glide slope, is a Dreamliner from KLM arriving from Delhi. 78710, which will be the 3rd airplane in the stream today. Hey there Josh, good morning buddy. Gosse, goedemorgen kerel. Alessia, good morning. Alessia tuning in from Liverpool. Hopefully you guys are having sunny weather over there as well. Jinshin, good morning. Aloha. Finally on time, he says. Absolutely, my friend. Well, if you guys had a look on Flight Radar like I did before going out, you could see that there are no less than 5 airplanes coming in, 5 747s that are expected to land on Schiphol before the Emirates A380, which is expected around 1:15 p.m. So, got plenty of quad-engined airplanes coming. Now the question of course always is, will they land on the right runway? Time will tell, but we'll be there to witness it all, hopefully up close. Marius, goedemorgen. And thank you Gosse. And Jackie, thank you too. Josh is in Alabama, he writes, where it presumably is still dark. Because that is like in the middle of the night. Is that 6 or 7 hours time difference? Is it a 4:45 or 3? And Zweni is checking in from Spain. No time difference there. Goedemorgen, Frits. And Alessia says the weather is very similar to yours here. Well, excellent. At least decent temperatures, eh? I think a lot of people will be happy that the temperatures are cooling down to more reasonable levels. I think a lot of people will have had trouble sleeping with, well, I think we nearly had an official heat wave over here in the Netherlands. Now, it's only officially a national heat wave in the Netherlands when in the weather station of the Bild in the center of the country near Utrecht, temperatures have been above 25 C for 5 days, and I think 2 or 3 of them have to be above 30 C. But if it is on other weather stations in different parts of the country, for instance the more southerly Limburg, where it typically is a bit warmer, it doesn't count. Only when it is in the center of the Netherlands in the Bild weather station, then it counts as an official heat wave. But I think we've had local heat waves in the south and east of the country over the last week, which of course is rather exceptional and nice for people who still have a holiday, but I think a lot of people will be happy. Temperatures have normalized to somewhat more reasonable levels. And Sunshine says, we were the suckers who got it in Eindhoven. Absolutely, it was warm in the south, Brabant, Limburg. And also plenty of rain, at least in the south of the country, in Limburg. Also, what was it, on Monday or Tuesday? Hopefully we'll be in for autumn with not too drastic and abnormal weather. Now back to the airplanes. We have 2 heavies coming in. First, Turkish flight 1951 arriving from Istanbul, which is an Airbus A330-300, and behind it is a 787-10 Dreamliner. Oh, and behind it, you can see them all in the center, is the first of 5 747s that is expected before the A380 arrives. 3 heavies, A330 in the foreground, in the top, in the middle, a 787-10, and a Queen as number 3. Now, have a look at the Dreamliner. I'm sure that the gear will go down any minute now. Let me see if I can reframe it so that we can see it all a bit longer. Good morning, Otto. Where it is also about 3, but in the afternoon, because he is in Thailand. Droogbier, goedemorgen, good morning. Blackburst, good morning. Bart W, goedemorgen. Alright. Turkish, flight 1951. Arrival from Istanbul. That is typically a 3-hour flight. Let's see, current flight time. No longer visible. Pressed too late on the airplane details. For some reason the flight time vanishes on my Android app then. Well, that was not the loudest landing. Those A330s definitely can do better. This is, by the way, an 8-year-old airplane. And coming in next is KLM flight 644, 787-10 Dreamliner. Arrival from New York JFK. Its flight time at the moment 6 hours and 7 minutes. The airplane is 2 years old. First flight was in December 2020, and what you're hearing is a rental van that is reversing right next to me. Now this Dreamliner is 2 years old. First flight was in December 2020. Now, unfortunately, no time to linger. Good morning, Ian. Good morning, Green Tea Gods. Rifat, good morning. Peter P, good morning. Miguel, good morning. Kevin H, good morning. We have the first queen of the day, Cargolux flight 2613. Operated by Cargolux Italia. This 747-400 is coming home, or at least home, coming to Amsterdam from Nairobi. Flight time 8 hours and 19 minutes. She's relatively young, 16 years old. First flight was in July 2007. Hey there, Big Al, Yillard, Rosa, good morning, just in time. Well, that definitely was a loud landing, wasn't it? And good morning to Ash. Also, perfect timing. And Big Al, thank you so much for gifting an AMS Live membership. And congratulations, Dale, who got gifted the AMS Live membership. I am watching you 75, good morning. Now, let's have a look. We have a small jet coming in right now, but a big bird is making a short approach to the glide slope. 777-200, arriving from Johannesburg. Makes for great viewing. See if we can spot them together in the same shot. In the foreground we have EasyJet flight 24081, Airbus A319, arriving from Venice, Venezia, Italia. Flight time was 1 hour and 35 minutes so far, and it is a 14-year-old airplane. First flight February 2009. Jackie says, say what? Yeah. Loudness all over. Now, interesting to see that the KLM was making such a short turn to get onto the glide slope. Don't see that very often. You do see it more often with smaller jets. But there you go. This is KLM flight 592, 777-200. ER, arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa. Flight time 10 hours and 29 minutes as we speak. 19-year-old airplane. First flight September 2003. And A320neo, and after that Airbus A350 up next. So we saw one of, I believe, at least 5 that were airborne 747s that are expected to arrive before the Emirates A380, which is expected around 1:15 p.m. And might be that there are more coming. Right, now let's have a look. Up next, SAS flight 821, Airbus A320neo, arriving from Oslo. This airplane is now underway for 1 hour and 36 minutes. It is a year old. First flight was in March 2022. And good morning to Daniel and to Ian. Robert, goedemorgen. Tiger, good morning. Miguel says National Airlines Cargo 747 landing in 8 minutes. That is good. That is cool. Queen number 2. Now, behind the airplane in the foreground is Delta Airlines flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Airbus A350-900. First up, A320neo, arriving from Oslo, from SAS. Now again, we don't have a lot of wind. There is a little breeze blowing from the southeast. Handful of knots. Nothing to write home about. No serious crabbing or anything expected. Does look a little bit like it has had a nose job or something. Or it only applied sunscreen to the tip of its nose. That could also be the case. Or maybe bleach or something. Lena, goedemorgen. Now, A350 time. Delta Airlines Flight 74, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. This airplane is underway now for 7 hours and 22 minutes. 4 years old, first flight June. I was about to say January, but it's June, not Jan. 2019. And I saw a glimpse of a 747 on my little snippet of flight radar visible on my phone screen attached to my camera. Got an all 737-900 coming up next. But it looks like the 747 from National will be number 2. And Ian asks if goedemorgen is German for good morning. Well, almost. German and Dutch have a lot of similarities, also a lot of differences, but the way you say good morning is definitely similar. In Dutch it is goedemorgen or goedemorgen, goedenmorgen. And in German it is guten Morgen or short morgen. Right, Tel Aviv arriving. Tel Aviv. El arriving from Tel Aviv. This time round, Boeing 737-900, flight 337, flight time 4.5 hours. 9-year-old airplane. Had its first flight in July of 2014. Queen number 2 in the background, as you guys could see. Now the separation is enough so that we can see the entire landing and still be in time for Her Majesty. Paul, goedemorgen. Nice in time. For Queen number 2. There she is. Arriving from Dubai. National Airlines Flight 8560. Boeing 747-400 freighter. Underway for 6 hours and 20 minutes, which is funny. That is 10 minutes less than when the A380 is flying from Dubai, although it is from a different airport, although I'm not sure if that warrants a 10-minute difference. Probably not. Now this 747 is also relatively young. I mean, for a 747, 18 years, first flight October 2004. If you consider that we also regularly see 747s that had their first flight in the 90s, this one is still a young one. Let's look and listen how her landing goes. Well, the Queens definitely do well in the sound department. No doubt about that. Pretty sure that the next airplane, even though it is not a small one, is going to be far less loud. United Airlines Flight 968 will be coming next. 787-9 Dreamliner arriving from San Francisco. First, Her Majesty the Queen has to vacate the runway. What you're hearing is a 737 that has just taken off from runway 24, flying to Copenhagen, passing right of me as I'm now pointing and standing. Nice livery also with the sun where it is right now in the sky, beautifully illuminating the livery from this side. And FFC Festa, good morning. All other viewers who have joined us in the meantime as well, good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're standing here at the Polderbaan runway 18 right. At the moment the only runway in use for arrivals. Airplanes arrive from the north, land to the south. We have a little bit of a wind blowing from the southeast, just a handful of knots, nothing to write home about, but a little bit of crosswind from right to left for the airplane's landing. Otherwise, blue skies mostly, little bit of cirrus clouds up in the sky. Definitely cooler than in the beginning of the week, 13 degrees Celsius. That is approximately, well, 2 times 13, 26 plus 30, 56-ish Fahrenheit or so. This is United Airlines Flight 968, Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner, arriving from San Francisco. Flight time is 9 hours and 30 minutes as we speak. The airplane is 8 years old. First flight was in July 2015. Oh! And you guys might also pick up on some ducks quacking. Let me point the camera to them after this landing. Nice wheelie. Of course not as stupid long as the one we saw earlier in the week from that one Embraer. If you missed that, have a look. Made a separate video of it. It is less than a minute long, but you can see the entire wheelie. Not slowed down, real time. Was immense. 30-second wheelie. Embraer 190. Last Monday, I believe it was. Insane. Insane. Now, if you heard some quackers just now, that is this little posse. 2 gentleman ducks and 2 lady ducks. It seems that there are some more quackers further upstream. Let me see if I can show you guys. There we go. Yeah, also quackers. 3 more. So the ducks are up early this morning. The water is otherwise devoid of any wildlife, as far as I can see. Not seeing any. Oh wait, maybe there is one. Is that a bird? No, doesn't look to be a bird. Lanterns are empty. Russell and his bros, I think they've gone on holiday or are sleeping in. We do have some contrails here and there. There is a little bit of haziness in the sky. You can see some contrails here and there. And the quackers are mad that I pointed the camera away from them. They want their attention, so they are begging for it. They're quacking for it. Jons, goedemorgen. And FFC Vesta asks, do you have any idea why that Embraer did such a long wheelie the other day? Well, maybe showboating. Probably showboating. Couldn't think of any other reason why. Not because it is safer. Obviously, having 3 gears on the ground is safer than having 2. So I think there is no particular reason to do that other than perhaps showboating for people filming it. I.e. vanity. So no, Ian, so far no crows this morning. Unless that would be a nickname for EasyJet A320neos. This one coming in from Birmingham. And Paul, thank you so much for your continued support. Celebrating 4 months of AMS Live membership already. Campero, bom dia. Tuning in from Brazil, presumably. Jean-Yves, bonjour. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. This is EasyJet flight 27842, Airbus A320neo. Touching down, arriving from Birmingham. Flight time 43 minutes. Hey Remco, goedemorgen. Right, got an Embraer 175 coming up next. Arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. So yeah, will we see a long wheelie? This is KLM flight 1352. Flight time 1 hour and 7 minutes. The airplane age 5 years, first flight November 2017. Further up in the distance, in the far left of the screen, we see Air Canada flight 808 turning onto the glide slope, arriving from Toronto, Canada. That is a 777. Behind it, also coming in from the left, is going to be an A320neo from British Airways, arriving from London Heathrow. And Campero is tuning in from South Brazil. So you're up early then. Morning, buddy, and thanks for the compliment. Glad you're liking it. Hope everybody does. And feel free to say hi in the chat if you are so inclined. Don't feel like you have to. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Well, this pilot definitely is not in the mood for a wheelie, but that's okay. Got a sneaking suspicion that we are going to see more than one Embraer today after this one. Let's have a look. Air Canada flight 808 up next. Arriving from Toronto, Canada, flight time 6 hours 19 minutes. It is a 777-300ER that is 16 years old already. So probably one of the elder 300 ERs. Older, I should say. First flight was in May 2007. Now the British Airways A320neo arriving from London Heathrow is also already visible in the far left. Let's see, behind it should be an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Berlin. Also vaguely visible below. The A320 from British Airways. So visibility definitely good today. And good morning TNC, good morning Camille. Doing well, absolutely. Thank you for asking, hope you are doing well as well, Camille. Hopefully not as warm anymore in France as well. It's quite warm for quite a long time in most of Europe this summer. And if it wasn't warm, it was excessively wet. Got a 737-800 from KLM flying to Helsinki, passing by over here in the sky. All right. Up next is British Airways flight 430, Airbus A320neo, arriving from London Heathrow, flight time 40 minutes, 2-year-old airplane, first flight April 2021. Leo, goedemorgen. Stranger, good morning. Lieve, goedemorgen. Hoe is het, kerel? Speedbird 1, good morning. You definitely find me well, buddy. Thanks for asking. Off to Cyprus in a bit from Manchester. Don't forget to wave when you pass over the Netherlands then. Not sure if I can see it with if I can pick it up with my camera, but we can sure try. Good morning to Zalurk. And all other viewers as well, good morning. We have had 2 Queens already. We have at least 3 more before the A380 is expected to land, which is around 1:15 p.m. And a British butt shot coming in. Berend, goedemorgen. Boarding to gate, good morning. Sander, goedemorgen. Next up is an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Berlin. KLM flight 1822. Flight time is an hour exactly. The airplane is 2 years old. First flight was in March 2021. And Croatia Airlines A319 arriving from Zagreb will be next. Now, lovely to see through those engines. You can see just how small the core is and how high the bypass is. It's almost like it's a propeller airplane. Yado, good morning, tuning in from Israel. Shalom and welcome. Two airplanes visible, Croatia Airlines arriving from Zagreb in the foreground and an A320neo from Lufthansa arriving from Munich in the background. This is Croatia Airlines flight 450, Airbus A319 arriving from Zagreb. 25 years old already. First flight January 1998 of this airplane. And a Croatian butt shot coming in. Good morning, Android phone. Hope everybody is doing alright. Beautiful morning over here in the Netherlands. Big picture wise, this is where the sun is at. You can see here and there some contrails. We have some high cirrus clouds here and there, but overall sunny. This is the east, this is the south, this is the west, and this is back to the north, where it looks like an airplane has circled. Is that a circle contrail? Almost looks like it. Weird, huh? Roy, goedemorgen kerel. Hoe is het? Lufthansa arriving from Munich, A320neo. Indeed, Tyler, it was definitely looking like a holding pattern to me as well. High level holding pattern then. Got some nice contrails here today as well. Once again, this is flying to the southwest from the northeast, a twin jet by the looks of it. It is mostly west and a little bit north of me right now. And we also have other airplanes over there near conjunction, a little bit too far away from each other, but two more airplanes. Lovely day for contrail spotting as well today. Air Canada flight 900 arriving from Montreal, Dreamliner 7878, 8-year-old airplane, first flight October 2014. But that is something you don't see very often, holding on a flight level where contrails are formed. I mean, that is definitely at a greater altitude. Interesting. Rolf, goedemorgen. J-Bell, good morning. Glad to hear all is well, Roy. Hugo, good morning. Arriving on the German Airways from Basel in an hour. Could you film it? Well, assuming you are landing on this runway, I can. Are you on a right-hand seat? Near a window? That would be terrific. Dirk, good morning. Guten Morgen. Tuning in from Cologne. Alright. Robert, good morning. Any ducks on the ILS today, he asks. Definitely, mate. Didn't you hear them already? They're noisy buggers as well today. Got a gentleman duck and another gentleman. Oh, 3 gentleman ducks and 1 lady duck. Hopefully that will go all right. Hugo, where exactly in the airplane are you sitting? Are you in front of the wings, behind the wings, or? Hey there, spotting with Trav, morning. Thanks for the kind words. Happy to hear that the stream is looking good. No issues on YouTube. Hopefully for a long time to come. Now. Daarom A318 arriving from Bucharest. The daily flight 361, flight time 2 hours 33 minutes. This airplane 15 years old, first flight November 2007. Minibus. Always nice to see such a short, bigger plane. Have to remember that I have to keep my head a bit more backward. Each time I'm panning to the right, I keep bumping in with my camera to my head, the cap of my head. See if we can do better. CRJ 900 SAS flight 1553, arrival from Stockholm. It is a CRJ 900 long range, 5 years old. Its first flight was in 2017 in October. Grace, good morning. Donna, good morning. Patrick, goedemorgen. Hey there, Cameron, good morning. Hey there, JD, good morning, buddy. John, good morning. Thanks for the kind words, appreciate it. Glad you're liking it. Got another airplane taking off to the north, left of me. Also got a few airplanes visible in the background. Let's have a look and see what we are having. Okay, I can also see that traffic is now going to center. First up, EasyJet A319 arriving from London Gatwick. Yeah. Sir Quacksalot needs his 15 minutes of fame. Right, next up, 777 time, Chinese. This is China Southern Cargo Flight 495, arrival from Shanghai. It is underway for 10 hours and 36 minutes as we speak. 777 freighter, 8 years old, first flight May 2015. Let's see how it does and sounds. Hey there, Captain Eddie Boss, good evening, buddy. Just in time, hope all is well. Now, they definitely know where the reverse thrust handle is. That was definitely nice to listen to. Now, let's have a look. Seems that there is another 777 but going to the center runway. Coming to the Polderbaan next will be an Embraer 190 arriving from London City. This is the 777-200 arriving from Cartagena that is now going to land on 18 center. Interesting. Ordinarily you would think it would go to Polderbaan if that is also available. KLM flight 741. Flight time 9 hours and 24 minutes. 777-200 ER. 19 years old already. First flight December 2003. In the meantime, an Embraer 190 arriving from London City. Also, Air Baltic flying to Riga, passing us by. Contrail from west to east. North of me also have a bigger one more closer by. Got a Speedbird Embraer also arriving from London City, landing now on the Polderbaan, which you might hear. Now, interestingly, there's also an airplane coming my way directly. Twin jet. Not a big one, I think, but definitely coming directly towards me. So, if there are details visible on the bottom of the airplane, we can see it on this one. Should be able to see it on this one. It is moving from west to east, by the way, nearly directly over me. I will follow it until my tripod locks at 90 degrees. And there it locks. And let's turn around, make sure that the wires are not getting tangled. Hey Danny, goedemorgen. Jannes, good morning. Alright. Pan Am A300, Cameron says. Ryanair to Vilnius, right. That makes more sense. Let's have a look. Next airplane visible is going to land on center. A320neo, Air Malta, arriving from Malta. I think they might be doing a runway inspection on Polderbaan. I'm not seeing any traffic coming our way right away. Air Malta flight 394. The A320neo, brand new. Had its first flight in May this year. Right, E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Zurich, next for center. Still no airplanes coming to Polderbaan just yet. And this E2 Embraer 195 is flying as KLM flight 1954. Coming home from Zurich, which has a flight time of 1 hour and 13 minutes as we speak. 1-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in October 2021. Speaking of runway inspections, as I was mentioning just now, we do have the bird control vehicle with the flashlights on, patrolling from one side to the other, so I do think that they are checking the runway right now for debris or anything. So traffic coming in for Polderbound will resume presumably in a few minutes. Funnily enough, I was having a look at the glide slope or the vicinity of the glide slope, and you do see an airplane, but it is passing by the glide slope and going to the glide slope of runway center. Hey Evan, what is up, my man? Good to see you again. Hope all is well in Santa Monica. Came in 30 minutes ago, but had to go back. Watch what I missed. Them queens, yeah. So we have had 2 now, and I think there are 3 more to come before the A380. That is expected around 1:15 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. Hey, and Merlin just landed on the OELKI. Unfortunately, far away from us. Right. EasyJet A320neo arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic is what we are looking at, by the way. And there is an A330 behind it, Delta Airlines, from coming home from Minneapolis. Hey there, Miss Wolves. Good morning. Good to see you too. Hope all is well. Ooh, well, we can have a look at what is going on ground level, but we can also have a look at, well, we just missed the conjunction of 2 contrail producing airplanes. This is the bigger one, moving more to the south or more to the east. The other one is moving more to the northeast. Over here. That seems to be a bit smaller. Both twin engines. This one is more west to east and appears to be a bit bigger, or at least the contrail is a bit more bright. Hard to see any details otherwise. But we do see a lot of traffic, that is good news. And this airplane is very quiet. I think this might be another airplane that we are going to see land that is flying downwind. Let me have a look on flight radar in a minute. This is a triple. Yeah, 777. I think this is going to be another airplane that we might see land, flying downwind now. Arriving from Cape Town. See another airplane passing past the glide slope of Polderbound. Now, interestingly, this is not what you are hearing. We are hearing Norwegian that has just taken off and is flying over here. But the triple, that is arriving air traffic, arriving from Cape Town. Where was it? Should be in the vicinity of the lantern somewhere. Let me double check that again. Oh yeah, right over there. Now, will be interesting to see if maybe Polderbound reopens again and we can see this airplane also turn base and turn final. Has it been assigned? Can somebody have a look at omgevingsinfo Schiphol, see what runway this triple has been assigned to? Also a helicopter coming. Damn it, it's busy. Police chopper flying out towards the sea, south of me, now passing south of me. I'm almost inclined to start the Airwolf tune. But this one looks a bit less futuristic. Okay, Jackie says, not yet visible. I'm assuming you're talking about the runway assignment for the 777. Let me see if I can still find it, because of course it is now... Oh wait, there it is. I do see it above the lanterns a little bit. Should be... Yeah, there it is. Well, let's have a look. Will it make one smooth turn and will it land on this runway? It does look like it's continuing its turn and is turning onto the glide slope for Polderbaan. I think it might be. I think it is coming our way. Also coming our way with bright lights on, although that's probably not as visible on the camera as it is in real life. Oh no, it is. No, it is continuing to the center runway, I think. Yeah, this is a very excessive overshoot otherwise. Oh wow! Holy moly! Look at this! Got a threesome! Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Has just passed over me, is now east of me. 3 contrails flying parallel to the east. Maybe a little bit south of the east. Check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that nice? Also, Bushan, thank you so much for becoming a member. Appreciate the support, my friend. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Shall we have a look? I'm not seeing any of the airplanes themselves. Has to be military. Has to be coming from the United Kingdom, flying probably to Eastern Europe. Sure, it has to be. Not a flight radar. Okay, wow. You can bet your whatever you want to bet on it that this is military then. Really awesome to see. Right, well. This is the 777 we saw on its downwind leg earlier, and as it passed past the glide slope of the Polderbaan, 777 arriving from Cape Town. KLM flight 594. It is a 777-300 ER. Coming home from Cape Town, South Africa. Flight time is 11 hours and 5 minutes. The airplane is 2 years old. First flight was in January 2021. K2 passing by in the foreground. All right. Is the runway still open? Let me have a quick look. Yeah, still open. Okay, interesting. Got a Transavia 737 arriving from Ljubljana in Slovenia. Transavia flight 6820, Boeing 737-800. Flight time is 1 hour and 27 minutes. The airplane is 14 years old. Its first flight was in April 2009. Now, given the fact that the bird controllers passed by very slowly and over here on the side of the runway and not on the runway with the flashlights on, I am assuming that landings on Polderbaan will resume anytime now. Unfortunately, the JetBlue A321neo arriving from JFK has been assigned to the center runway and is following this Transavia. Hey, de Sparta Rotterdam, goedemorgen. Hope all is well, good to see you again. Right, this is JetBlue Airways, flight 62288, Airbus A321neo arriving from New York, JFK. Current flight time of this flight, 6 hours and 44 minutes. The airplane is 2 years old. First flight was in June 2021. And it is the 14th now, so in a week from now exactly, JetBlue will also start flying in directly from Boston to Amsterdam. So as of a week from now, we are going to see 2 flights from JetBlue, one from New York, JFK, one from Boston. What is it, Logan? Right, now, let's have a look. Transavia 737 relocation flight from, oh no, I keep thinking it is from arriving from Groningen, but it is from Girona. That looks like it is turning more early and is maybe coming to the Polderbaan. So it would be nice to see traffic to Polderbaan resume as of now. Bird controllers are also outside of their vehicle. Is that a PP brake or is that for something else? Hey, I'm hearing honking. Are those the firefighters? Oh, I think it is at least a firefighter. vehicle, but is it moving or is it standing still? Is something up over there? Could that be the reason that traffic is not coming to the polderbaan? Now I am seeing a quad engine contrail coming this way. Let's have a look and see what it is. Might be on its way to Frankfurt. It has the... Let's have a quick look on the big screen. That could be a 747. Moving from northwest to southeast, has just passed east of me, but still north of me. I think it might be underway to Frankfurt or further in that direction. Looking at the shape of the wing, I think it is a 747. And there is traffic coming to Polderbaan once again. That's good news. Do see some lights in the north. But what is that? Is that a fire truck? Just left of the gate on the bridge. The fence. And thank you KGI Kliko NL Lufthansa from Vancouver to Frankfurt. Everybody confirming 747. Awesome. Also back Russell. Though without the bros. Also traffic to Polderbaan seems to be resuming. That is good news. Meanwhile, I think it is a bit too warm to be standing in a jacket. Let's just go with a t-shirt, shall we? Alright, now, this is Transavia, arriving from Girona. Flight 5766, Boeing 737-800. Silky smooth landing there. Top notch, absolutely. Hey Peppy, servus, schön dass du auch wieder dabei bist. Herzlich willkommen. Hoffe es geht dir gut. Jin asks, where are the coots? I just love the way you say coot. Yeah, cute, eh? No, I don't think I've seen them yet. Do see something moving in the water over there. But is that a duck or a coot? I'm not sure. I think that is a duck in the black and white livery. So thus far only ducks in the show today. Also looking... so it were the firefighters. They were standing still. They are now on the move. They are making noise. This is more familiar. So they were standing still there, don't know why. But they are coming. Alrighty, and thank you so much, Rick, for in the meantime becoming an AMS Live member. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. And thank you so much for becoming a member. And they did give me a honk there, Kai. Absolutely. I always wave and they always wave back, and sometimes they honk their horns. They always acknowledge people standing over here in the sides of the grass. Alright. Next up, Transavia Boeing 737-700, arrival from Barcelona, flight 5132. Flight time no longer mentioned. Probably around 2 hours. The airplane is 20 years old. Had its first flight in April of the year 2003. Meanwhile, Italia A320neo arriving from Rome, going to center. Also, we have a KLM Airbus A380-200 arriving from Entebbe that is coming closer by, so won't be following this airplane too long. Right, let's focus in on the Airbus A330. KLM flight 536, Airbus A330-200, flight time 8 hours, is arriving from Entebbe. This airplane is 18 years old. Had its first flight in August 2005. And there should be a KLM Embraer 190 coming in behind it somewhere. Can we see it already? Maybe just a little speck of light. Right, next up is KLM flight 1072. Which is an Embraer 190 arriving from Manchester. Let's have a look. Oh wait, there it is. Faintly visible. Got another Embraer 190 passing from the left in a few minutes. That is something you might pick up on the mic. Going to Hamburg. Yeah, it was a nice wheelie from the A330, not nearly as long as the Embraer 190 we saw earlier in the week, but definitely a nice one. Firefighters in the meantime doing their patrol round, now on the other side of the runway. They will also probably be testing their gear again when they arrive back on the fire station, at the fire station. Right, following this Embraer 190 is an Iberia Express Airbus A320 arriving from Madrid, which I'm not seeing yet. Hey Mikey, morning. Indian King, good morning. Tuning in all the way from Trinidad, no less. Here we go again. Here we go again. No, this one wasn't nearly as long as the other one, but definitely might be the same pilot. It is an Embraer 190 after all, so... Alrighty, Iberia Express up next, flight 3722, Airbus A330, 320, coming home from Madrid. Flight time 2 hours and a minute, 22-year-old airplane, first flight May 2001. And Jon says Saudia Queen Overreizen, so that would be the third queen of the show, of 5 that at least are expected before the A380 is expected, which is expected around 1:15 p.m. So in 2 hours and 15 minutes. We have seen 2 queens now. The third one is coming in. And there were 2 more on the way, if I'm not mistaken. That is excluding any that might still take off from, for instance, Paris Charles de Gaulle during the stream. This was just what was airborne already before I went out this morning. Definitely good weather over here, Mikey. Not as warm as well anymore. Although I did come here in the morning with a jacket on. Now I'm back in my t-shirt. Hey Anne, goedemorgen. Plane spotter Joshi, good morning. Doing well, thank you for asking. Hope the same goes for you. Now ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get out that emoji once again. It's playtime. Some have labeled it the lipstick plane, others have called it a sausage plane, others have likened it to the package of condoms. Whatever it is, it entices a reaction, and it is flight 460 arriving from Reykjavik, the A321neo daily flight, now on the way for 2 hours and nearly 40 minutes. A 5-year-old airplane, first flight April 2018. Still doing a little bit of hydrating, as you guys can hear. Behind the A321 is an EasyJet A320, arriving from Milan, and well, plenty more airplanes are coming. Curious to see. I think there's an Embraer 190 arriving from London City that is going to be number 3, very more bit further to the north. Not sure if we can see it already. Oh yeah, in the bottom left quadrant you can see it. Have to look at my laptop screen to see what you guys are seeing, because out here with the reflections otherwise it is hard to see, but 3 airplanes visible right now. And Droogbier says military is practicing flights over the Ginkelse Heide for the Market Garden Memorial. So that might have been the 3 contrails that we saw flying in what looked like a pattern earlier this morning. Where did they come from then? They were already at cruising altitude, so I'm assuming they flew over here from the United Kingdom somewhere then. And Paul is informing us that the Saudia 747 is 12 minutes away. Now, I hope that, because center is still open, I'm afraid it might go to center coming from, I'm assuming it's coming from the east then. From Jeddah or something. Whoa, time to play. Already quite significantly slowed down over here. They will have to vacate now, otherwise the next traffic will have to go around. Mikey, thanks for dropping in. Enjoy the rest of your day, buddy. Hope to see you soon again. Right, EasyJet A320 arriving from Milan up next. Flight 23859. Whoever thinks of those flight numbers and why to give them 5 digits, explain yourself. Airbus A320 arriving from Milan. Oh. This airplane now touching down after nearly 1.5 hours of flight. The airplane is 6 years old. Hey there, Matt. Good morning, buddy. Hope all is well over there in Leeds. Got 2 Embraer 190s coming in. First one arriving from London City, the second one arriving from Dublin. Not seeing the number 2 just yet. Probably have to zoom out a little bit. KLM flight 986 arriving from London City, Embraer 190. Flight time around 40 minutes or so. 9-year-old airplane, first flight February 2014. Mr. Biker, good morning, buddy. Hope all is well, Paul. You missed a nice formation of 3 contrails flying from your country over my country to maybe somewhere else in this country or another country. We're still speculating. Was probably military. We've seen 2 queens so far. The third one is coming in, Saudia 747, not too far away. However, probably will be going to the wrong runway. It is now passing past Lelystad, coming this way. Has anybody have a look at? Did anybody have a look at the runway assignment of the 747? I'm thinking it is center, but maybe they are going to close it shortly before that. Gerrit, goedemorgen. Gerrit Jan, I should say. Und Markus, guten Morgen. Herzlich willkommen aus der Schweiz. Schön, dass du auch dabei bist. Und alle anderen deutsch sprechende Freunde, herzlich willkommen allen. At the moment, still parallel arrivals taking place, as you guys can see. Got KLM flight 1422 coming in next for the Polderbaan, arrival from Birmingham, 737-800. In the top left we can see the next airplane behind it already, which is an Embraer 190 arriving from Bristol. And Otto and Yorkshire are both confirming, plus Clico NL, that the Saudia 747 will be going to the wrong runway. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there are two more after it that we are going to see before the A380 will touch down. The A380 from Emirates, expected in 2 hours from now, around 1:15. If you're new to the channel, then you might want to know that the game plan is to stick around until the A380 has landed. More regular viewers will already know that that is typically the game plan, particularly when we're filming arriving traffic. So in the next 2 more hours we are going to see, if all is well, 4 more quad-engined airplanes. Got KLM flight 1050 up next, arriving from Bristol, Embraer 190. Also having a look to see where the Saudia 747 is hanging out, now reaching the coast of North Holland from the east. Let me have a look. Can I see something already? Nah, it's still too far away. That would have been amazing to be able to spot it already. Now, over here on the Polderbaan, we are expecting another airplane approach from the left in any minute now, arriving from Edinburgh, 737-800. Hope that we can see them both together in the same shot, but not sure if we're going to make that. Probably not. No. Bit of a shame. Too much separation. But that's okay. So we've seen 2 Queens land on Polderbaan where we are standing next to. Third one is going to land on the center runway in a few minutes. We've also been seeing a couple of wheelies from the Embraer KLMs, the KLM Embraers, but nothing has come close to what we saw on Monday. If you guys missed that, have a look in my videos section, the latest edition, a short 36-second video of a tremendously impressive long wheelie in real time. Just a little bit of comical music placed under it, but nothing is delayed or speed up. Insane long wheelie from a KLM Embraer 190 pilot. So if you missed that, definitely have a look at that. Got a 747, I think, flying from west to east, just south and east of me already. Got a twin engine, a bit closer, flying in the opposite direction. And I think I see the 747 in the distance. Now let me get my bearings. Where is it? little bit of a milky backdrop. First, the right set of... There we go. I think that is it. Yeah. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the third Queen. Arrival from Jeddah, Saudia Airlines. Going to center. Approaching the glide slope, now flying just north of Wormerveer. And Scott, thank you so much for letting us know that what we saw, the quad-engined airplane, the contrail moving from west to east, was an Emirates A380 heading to Dubai from Houston. Colin Mac, good morning buddy. Hope all is well, good to see you again. Goedemorgen Jet Music Travel Channel. So this is Saudia Cargo. Flight 933, Boeing 747-400, arriving from Jeddah. Going to runway 18C, unfortunately, but we are going to follow it until it has landed. Now, this airplane is underway now for 5 hours and 24 minutes from Jeddah to Amsterdam. So, by the time it has landed, it will have been airborne for 5 hours and 30 minutes or so. It is a 747-400 BDSF, and this airplane is 28 years old. Had its first flight in December 1994. Let me think. I think I was in the first grade of high school then. From 1994 until 2000, yeah. So, this airplane has been flying for quite a long time already. Hey Han, goedemorgen. Zeker alles oké. Enjoying the cooler weather over here, plus a nice breeze. Makes for more pleasant viewing. Now Russell has gathered some bros on the lantern. And also, Harry the Heron is also back. We've got Russell and the bros. And Harry is also looking for a nice vantage point. Now, KGI Kliko says that the next 747 should also be visible soon. Silkway arriving from Baku, number 4. Hopefully, after this 747 has landed on 18C, they will close it again, so that at least the 4th Queen will be landing on Polderbaan. Oh, now near Volendam. Okay, well that is definitely not good news then, because that means it is very likely that that airplane is also going to go to center. Has anybody checked what runway the 4th 747, the Silk one, has been assigned to? I'm assuming it is going to be center. Looks like it is still very much in use, unfortunately. Doing well here, Colin. Thank you for asking. Enjoying the somewhat cooler weather we have now over here. Also makes sleeping at night much easier. It's nice not to need the fan anymore to get some air coolness in an otherwise warm bedroom, despite having blinders on the outside that keep the warmth out as well. It always warms up in your house, whatever you do. Alright. So the Saudia 747 landing on center. Silkway is also going to center, Yorkshire says. That is unfortunate, not unexpected, but unfortunate nonetheless. Got some friendly clouds forming over here on lower level. Lower levels in the sky. Interesting. Also land inward, it seems more friendly clouds are forming. Now, before the fourth 747 becomes visible, we can have another landing over here on the Polderbaan to look at. This is KLM flight 1414 that has just landed, arriving from Lyon in La France. Embraer 190. Also have a twin jet that just passed over me, very well visible, flying to the north west. Probably, well, could possibly come from Frankfurt. Hard for me to see what kind of airplane type it is. It is already north of me and west of me. Now I'm also seeing an airplane that flies without a producing a contrail, but let me not try to get that in view because that is too difficult. Where is the 747? It should be visible somewhere in the north. I think I do see something that might be it. Where is it? Let's see. Once again, bearings, windmills. Windmills are over there. So it should be somewhere, yeah, there he is, I think, yeah. Alrighty. And Yorkshire says probably an A330 going from Frankfurt to Atlanta. That would make sense. It was a big twin jet by the looks of it. Definitely on the route from Frankfurt to the United States. They all seem to be passing in the vicinity of Amsterdam. Now, we are looking at the fourth queen of the day. I think one more queen is expected, and of course the daily Emirates A380 all in the next 2 hours. This one is Silkway West, flight 4215, Boeing 747-400 arriving from Baku. This airplane is underway now for 4 hours and 52 minutes. It is a 747-400 R7F, whatever that may mean. Airplane is 23 years old. First flight September 1999. And Andy says Lufthansa 787, what I was viewing. Could also be the case. Well, and Josh, climate over here is not so warm yet that having aircon is standard in housing. Of course, you can buy a split airco unit if you are a homeowner and install it or have it installed aftermarket, so to speak. And maybe with climate change, it is something that maybe more people will look into. But I, for one, don't have air conditioning in my house just yet. I do have sunscreens on the outside that can keep the sun out, and also the warmth, the radiation can keep it out when the sun is shining, so it is already relatively cool, but I'm somebody who is warm quite easily, and particularly during the night I hate that. Often when I'm on holiday in the Alps, you also have a very warm hotel room, terrible to sleep in, so I typically open up every door and window then when I'm going for dinner. Turn off all the radiators, and hopefully things will have cooled down so that you can sleep a bit decently. Right, Silkway. Her Majesty number 4. Tschüss Bayern Basti. Ist das Mittag schon? Hier ist es noch morgen. Morgen. Schöne Grüße zurück. Hey there, known as Adventures. Good to see you. Looks good, doesn't it? You have a nice day as well. Thank you for tuning in. Serge, good morning. All right. Let's quickly turn around the camera. We have a Delta A330-300 coming in next. Delta Airlines flight 136 arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Flight time 6 hours 57 minutes. The airplane is 16 years old. First flight was in January 2007. Hey Herben, goedemorgen. R7 is the Boeing customer code for Cargolux. Alright. R7F just means freighter for specifically for Cargolux then, I'm assuming. Alrighty. Yeah, did I forget to say that this one might get loud? Happy to hear that the Delta pilots did not disappoint today. Right, got some Embraers coming up next. And another quad that is moving west to east, it looks like. They keep flying over here. Lovely day. Looks more summery now with the friendly low clouds, doesn't it? Departure still taking place from runway 24. Looks like a Delta A330 just taking to the skies. Right, KLM flight 916, Embraer 175, arriving from Southampton. 7-year-old airplane, first flight May 2016. Austrian, arriving from Vienna, going to center. Und danke für die schönen Wörter, Jörg. Du bereicherst die Online-Community und vermittelst uns ein Stückchen vom Amsterdamer Flughafen und der faszinierenden Welt des Fliegens. Mach weiter so. Mach ich. I've only just begun. The channel is less than a year old still. I have no intention of stopping just yet. Thanks for the kind words, Jörg. This is KLM flight 954, an Embraer 190 arriving from Newcastle. First flight was in January 2010. The airplane 13 years old. Now, Sally the seagull behind me. Got a few birds flying over here. Russell seems to be chilling on his own. In the meantime, we've got another airplane coming in from Glasgow. German Airways flight, or at least German Airways flying for KLM, flight 1474. Embraer 190, flight time 1 hour and 5 minutes. The airplane is 15 years old, first flight January 2008. More coming in, Embraer 190 arriving from Basel. Cargo Airbus A388-200, unfortunately going to center, which is sandwiched in between the narrow bodies that are coming to Polderbaan. If I'm not mistaken, they typically go back to single runway for arrivals operations around 11:40 or so. I think that's always the time you see on Bezoek Bus when looking at the forecast for runway usage, the expected runway usage. So I'm thinking any time now they can close up the center runway in favor of all traffic going to Polderbaan once again. And then probably around 1 o'clock they will reopen it again just in time for the A380 to land on it, on center. And I see my chat was stuck again. No. Didn't we have somebody on board this airplane? Arriving from Basel, German Airways flying for KLM, flight 1986, Embraer 190 arriving from Basel, 16-year-old airplane, first flight January 2007. Squeakiness in the brakes. That's a first for Embraers. Meanwhile, Lucas Son, good morning. Sheikh Mohammed Javad, good morning. Richard, tuning in from NYC, good morning, buddy. Right. Let's have a look, shall we? Big Bird coming in, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. KLM flight 736. Boeing 777-300ER. Flight time right now 8 hours 48 minutes. The airplane is 5 years old. Its first flight September 2017. Two more contrails. Flying on parallel routes. Looking to fly to the southeast both. From the northwest. Twin engines by the looks of it. And the other one is over there. Still a little bit west of me, but almost south of me already. Now parallel arrivals are still in progress, unfortunately. 737 arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle. However, we are going to see an Embraer 190 in a minute arriving from London City. Sven, good morning, good to see you again, buddy. Hope all is well. Two airplanes visible. We've got an Embraer 190 in the foreground arriving from London City. Behind it is an EasyJet A319 that is arriving from London Luton. And there is a third airplane turning onto the glide slope further north. That is a 777-200 arriving from Guayaquil. Oh, looks like very nicely together visually. That's pretty. Ah, nice flying over Alpha, Hans says. Yeah, that does look like it could be. It's funny how it looks like they are flying nearby, but when you look on the map you can see that they are actually quite down south already. I was at the beach of Noordwijk a week ago or something and I saw contrails to the south, and I had a look on flight radar and I saw that they were over the province of Zeeland, which if you're not Dutch or Belgian probably doesn't say a lot to you, but it's the southwesternmost province of the Netherlands. Really insane how far you can look away in the distance when things are bright. But the same goes for the ISS. Sometimes you see it and you look at a map where it should be flying, and it turns out it's already over the south of France or something, and you can see it from the Netherlands. Quite crazy if you think about it. Alrighty, 2 airplanes. Hey there, Mirza. Good morning. Is it morning still? Yeah, it is still morning. We have EasyJet flight 22515 arriving from London Luton here. Airbus A319, flight time 42 minutes. The airplane is 17 years old. First flight of this airplane was in March 2006. Hey George, goedemorgen. Now, if you just tuned in, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. This is the Polderbaan runway 18 right. At the moment, I think it might be the only runway for arrivals once again. I'm not seeing any traffic going to center anymore. It did until just now. Also seeing nothing in the sky. So I think this once again might be the only runway in use for arrivals. Probably until around 1 p.m. or so. So let me... And indeed, Han, you see contrails and you look and you see that they're flying over Antwerp while you're living near Rotterdam. That's just crazy to think how far you can look away when things are up in the sky and visibility is good. Now, unfortunately, we cannot see airplanes flying over England from the west coast. I did have a look when the weather was clear, when I could see contrails further to the west, have a look on flight radar, but then it would be midway until between the United Kingdom and the Netherlands. Unfortunately, that distance is too great. Now I'm happy to report that it seems like this is once again the only runway in use for arrivals. We saw KLM flight 696 land just now, arriving from Toronto, 777-200ER. Next up is going to be a Dreamliner from TUI arriving from Bonaire. Ah, Hugo just landed. Ah, you could hear them also. Whoa. That's new to me. The squeakiness not only audible for us, the viewers on the outside, but also for the occupants of the airplane itself. Mirza, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Hope the same goes for you, buddy. Lovely weather over here. Not excessively warm. Nice Indian summer. This is nice Indian summer weather. We had a near heat wave last week in the Netherlands. I think many parts of Europe have had heat waves or near heat waves. This weather is much better. The same amount of sun, but temperatures much more doable. TUI Dreamliner arriving from Bonaire. The B in the ABC Islands, bird controller, K2, photo bombing the moment. Flight 703, this was. Flight time nearly 9 hours, 8 hours and 53 minutes. 7878 Dreamliner, one of the 3 Dutch registered, 8 years old. Mirza is from Pakistan. Wow, tuning all the way in from Pakistan. Welcome. Hope you're liking the show. Also, if you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. Don't feel like you have to, but if you want to, feel free to do so. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask Many viewers over here, all of them friendly, and a lot of them are knowledgeable as well. Got another twin jet passing from west to east, just north of me. Now there's a little cloud impeding the view, blocking us. Not really sure what that could be, other than a twin-engined airplane. Oh, and we might be up for a conjunction. There's also an airplane that optically looks like is coming from the opposite direction. Not sure if they are on converging or diverging courses. Might pass each other, visually at least, in a few minutes. I think we can have a look at the landing in the meantime. Embraer 190 arriving from Hanover. KLM flight 1904. Hey, and this is the first time since I have been streaming today that I'm standing in the shade. One of the small friendly airplanes now blocking my sunlight. Does make for better visibility on my screens. Has to be said. Oh, but the sun is coming back already. Alright, well, not a very close conjunction. They do seem to be on opposite courses. In the meantime, Hugo, thank you so much for your super chat there, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Now, let's have a look at the next incoming airplane. That would be another Embraer from KLM. And there's a Qatar 777 behind it. Somewhere. Embraer 175 arriving from Leeds. Oh yeah, that's also something, if you tuned in later, is also interesting to look back, and I will have to remember to highlight that when I get home. You saw a contrail of a traffic pattern, a holding pattern. Apparently an airplane flew in a holding at an altitude where it produced contrails. Oh, we've got a quad engine coming this way. Damn it, bad timing, because we also have a Qatar 777. But this one is going to get close, and this one is coming directly towards me, is going to get even more close. And there's also one passing from southwest to northeast. But first let's have a look at what we can see the best, and that is ground level. Here we have Qatar Cargo flight 8156 arriving from Panama City. Flight time 9 hours 36 minutes. This airplane is 6 years old. It's a 777 freighter. First flight was in January 2017. These have the potential to get loud when the reversers are applied. Let's listen in. Well, this airplane might have been flown by military people. Captain sadness and major disappointment. Let's have a look at that quad. That is really nearby, passing north of me just now. Looks like a 747, looking at the wing shape and the angle. Now, let's also have a look at that twin jet that is coming directly towards me, which will probably be visible better once it has passed behind me, or past me, and is flying west of me, when the sun is illuminating it from behind. Is that a Dreamliner? No, it looks like more, the wings look more like a triple than a Dreamliner to me. And that is my tripod camera. My camera reaching the top of my tripod. The airplane now passing directly over me. Yeah, well, we'll have to go to ground level now because there's a queen coming. Queen number 4, third one on this runway. Cargolux Boeing 747-400. Doesn't say the flight number specifically. This airplane is arriving from Miami, Florida. Flight time 8 hours and 10 minutes. It is a Boeing 747-400 EVF parenthesis ER. 16 years old. First flight November 2006. Alrighty. FS2 Vesta says, I count 7 RAF Typhoons. Airborne over UK and RAF E3 Sentry over in North Sea with Dutch A330 on Dutch coast and RCAF Airbus CC-150T also in North Sea, very active military today. Well, we did see 3 airplanes pass at great altitude in what looked like a formation from west to east. Now, I see all kinds of contrails in the sky. Don't see any quads at first glance, so let's have a look at the arriving airplanes on Polderbaan. At the moment, arriving from London Heathrow, a Boeing 737-800 from KLM. And a Dreamliner arriving from LAX will be next. A very much KLM style landing this. Keep up the speed, vacate late, sooner to the gate. And the gate is still a 10 to 15 minute taxi at least away from here. You can see the 747 over there has vacated the runway. will be passing behind the fire station and in front of the tower, or no, yeah, behind the tower I think as well, along this path of trees, which is adjacent to the taxi route from Polderbaan to the main platform area. Now in the distance you can see airplanes behind the trees. That's where the gates and the main terminal building is. The gates are and the terminal building is. The main ATC control tower also over there. So every minute you can save by keeping up the speed and vacating late is another one sooner to the gate, at least over here at Schiphol. Now, this is KLM flight 604, Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner arrival from LAX. Flight time no longer mentioned, but that is typically around 9 hours or so, if not more. 9 to 9.5 hours. The airplane is 3 years old. First flight was in October 2019. Undronen Oldies says hello from Lübeck. Guten Morgen now. It's just afternoon. Good afternoon to you too, buddy. Frank, good morning. Welcome to one and all. Now, the next airplane will arrive from Darlington. Embraer 175. Have to wait a little bit. Oh, more to the right and lower already. Airplane moving away from me, northeast of me, moving west to east mostly. You do see a lot of activity. No quad jets in the immediate vicinity. Wind is still southeasterly, it seems like, and that is a good moment to also update the ticker because the METAR is quite old already. Let me go to flight radar. Probably hasn't changed significantly. Can see that there's a Delta A330 also coming this way. Nice. Those always get noisy on average. Copy paste the METAR. Update the ticker. Here we go. Adjust the font size and save. So as you can see, the wind is blowing from the southeast approximately. The ticker shows the latest weather update that I just copy pasted from flight radar. Is from just over 35 minutes ago. Wind 5 knots from 160 degrees, so mostly south, a little bit east of south. Wind direction is variable between 120 degrees and 210 degrees. Visibility is 10 kilometers or more, but there are a few clouds at 3,000 feet. Temperature has increased to 18 degrees Celsius. The dew point still 13 degrees Celsius. QNH is the barometric pressure, 1,023 hectopascals, and no significant changes in the weather are expected in the upcoming 2 hours. Before looking at the next airplane on ground level, we can see another contrail moving west to east, just north of me. Obviously a twin jet. It is still flying east of me and a little north of me. Will pass north of me, is flying to the west. We have a KLM Embraer landing on the Polderbaan in the meantime. I'm thinking we have seen so many of these already. This might be a little bit more interesting to have a look at. So this airplane is now flying a little bit east of me and mostly a little bit north of me. Will be passing north of me, then flying northwest of me. Maybe also a little bit to the northwest, but mostly from east to west is this airplane flying. I think I'm also hearing it. Got a couple of more behind it further north. But let's have a look and check out this big bird on ground level. Delta Airlines flight 164. This is Delta Airlines flight 164, Airbus A380-300, arriving from Minneapolis. The flight time of this airplane is 7 hours and 32 minutes. The airplane itself, 20 years old. First flight was in August 2003. Got a little airplane visible in the background. That is a Transavia 737-800 that is arriving from Bari. Now these A330s have the potential to get loud, particularly when in the hands of Delta pilots. So let's look and listen for wheelies and reverse noise. Yeah, that was a little disappointing, wasn't it? Pity. There's so much potential. Now, it is lovely to see how the weather changes over the hours. You can see that definitely the earth is warming up over here in the Netherlands, and there is some formation of clouds land inward. Mostly land inward though, because if you look at where the North Sea is at, the clouds are there, but much less prevalent. Two more airplanes coming up. 737-800 arriving from Bari first. Transavia flight 5820. Flight time 2 hours and 15 minutes. This airplane, 21 years old, first flight April 2002. And I am the law asks, what time is it there? Have a look in the bottom left corner of your screen, buddy. You will see the local time over here. Hey there, Zulfikar. Good afternoon, lovely weather indeed. Hope the same goes for you guys in Pakistan. Nice weather. Got an E2 Embraer 195 going to Oslo, passing by over here. Am I now pointing it to the wrong cloud? No, it should be there. Next up is a Boeing 737 MAX 8 from TUI. That is coming home from Ibiza. Flight time no longer mentioned, but probably 2 to 2.5 hours. The airplane is 2 years old. First flight was in February 2021. So I keep having that issue that if I press on the label of an airplane just before it touches down, that all the information is gone. At least the airplane age information is gone. Did update all my apps on the phone the other day, but the problem is persisting. Apparently something with the Android version of Flight Radar then. Have to click on the airplane, well, before it touches down, and have to keep the window open so that I can still see the flight time. Otherwise it's gone and not retrievable anymore. In the meantime, thank you so much JD for gifting an AMS Live membership. And thank you all so much for 300 likes, 300 plus likes in the meantime for this today's stream. And no reverse landing, but no wheelie. That is a bit of a letdown. Not letting down is Finnair going back to Helsinki in an A330, which should be visible over there somewhere. More over there. Am I too low? I think I am too, I was too low, yeah. Clouds are a bad frame of reference to zoom in on where you think an airplane might be. Windmills are far better. At least they are static on the ground. Makes it a little bit easier to point up against. German Airways flying for KLM as KLM flight 1060 arriving from Cardiff. Pressed on the details quickly enough, soon enough, so I can see that the flight time of this airplane is 55 minutes. The airplane is 14 years old. First flight was in January 2009. Oh, Russell is trying to say something. Yeah, buddy. I'm turning the camera in a minute. What you got to say, buddy? The floor is all yours. Speak your mind, buddy. Oh, and now you're giving me the silent treatment, eh? Such a child. Alright. Let it all out, come on. It's good for your well-being. Alright. I guess he is a bit camera shy then. He has all kinds of talks when the camera isn't pointing to him, but I suppose he is a little camera shy then. He has to get used to it. Alrighty, now got another Embraer 175 coming in from Stuttgart. Let me also get some water in. Indeed. Bina, that's a headline. Boy calls bird child. Oh boy. Got a tractor coming in from behind me. With a potential pool reservoir. I'm not sure what that is behind the tractor itself. Maybe to create your own shitstorm. Alright, KLM Flight 1870 has just landed from Stuttgart after an hour of flight, and an airplane taking off from runway 24, going to Dublin, Embraer 175 by the looks of it. No contrails in the immediate vicinity. Does look nice with the sun illuminating the clouds from this angle. Hey Ina, guten Tag. Good to see you again, hope all is well. And Denoid asks if there is Domino's Pizza in Amsterdam. Well, there's even in a little village where I'm living in, so yeah, we have Domino's everywhere. Domino's, New York Pizza. Not sure if these are the places where you can get the best pizza, but they are very much present over here in the Netherlands. Just like any other fast food chain. Except Wendy's. We don't have Wendy's in the Netherlands. Well, we have Wendy in the chat. Not today though, or at least I haven't seen her yet, but the chain Wendy's we don't have in the Netherlands. Right. JD has to go back to work after the lunch break, but leave it running silently in the background. Well, do lower the volume. If we do get loud airplanes in, you won't raise suspicion. Now, Yellowt is informing us that the Orange Pride 777 is going to land from Vancouver in 20 minutes. That's good news. Do we have 5 guys? I didn't know that, Sander. Probably only in the big cities then. Don't recall having seen them ever over here. Then again, I'm not very much a consumer of fast food, so... Oh, what's that? Oh, there was a fly on my... Right, Embraer 190 arrival from Prague should be somewhere visible in the north. Let me have a look. Got reflections all over. There it is. KLM Flight 1354, Embraer 190 arrival from Prague in the Czech Republic, and... in the background, from the left, we should be seeing the next airplane appear any moment now, unless my camera is pointing too far up. Let me see a little bit more like so, and also a little bit more like so. All right. Good to know, Sander. Did not know that. Now, I'm not seeing that next airplane behind the Embraer yet. Oh, there it is, from the left. Nice. Right, that would be an A320 from Aer Lingus, Shamrock Flight 604, arriving from Dublin. And no other airplanes in the immediate, well, a couple, but not turning onto the glide slope in the same, in viewing distance, so to speak, so that we can capture them in the same shot. Means that we can focus on both individually. Here we have again KLM flight 1354, Embraer 190, arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. Its flight time at the moment is 1 hour and 8 minutes. The airplane is 5 years old. First flight was in February 2018. Got a few birds in the foreground. Haven't seen the bird controllers in a while. I think the last time was when the Polderbaan was closed for, what was it, 10-15 minutes or so? At least it felt like longer than normal. I think that was also when the firefighters were standing still more to the south. Still don't know why they did that. They normally don't do that on their daily round around the perimeter, so leads me to believe that something was up there. No, I'm not sure. Right, more clouds forming. Still contrails nicely visible over here. Got another one moving from east to west, still a little bit north of me and west of me. Will pass north of me anytime now. Is that also the airplane I'm hearing? Where is that? Oh wait, no, there's a bigger one closer by, probably from Frankfurt to the United States. We'll have to turn the camera around for that one, but it is over here. That one passed directly over me, well, just south of me a few seconds ago. Looking at the shape of the wing, I'm inclined to believe it might be a Dreamliner, but I'm not entirely sure. Also, let's turn around to the runway once again for what is landing over here, which is the Shamrock A320 arriving from Dublin. Hey there, Robert. Goedemiddag, good afternoon. Good to see you. Hope all is well. All other viewers who have joined in the meantime, welcome to you guys as well. It is arrivals at Polderbaan over here. We're sticking around until the A380 has landed, which is expected within the hour. I think the ETA was around 1:15, so in just over 45 minutes or so. If I'm not mistaken, we have one more 747 also coming in. Or have we seen them all already? I think there was one still out there. Alright, the Noid has to go. break over. Well, enjoy the rest of your day and thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again soon. Ooh, city whoppers, that sounds good, Liewe. I could go for a veggie city whopper. Well, I first will have to make do with the muesli bars that I have with me. Got 2 more in the package. Now, Han, I haven't seen any contrails from fighter jets, unfortunately, unless those 3 we saw earlier were fighter jets. But I keep looking around to see if I see anything. Also, those F-16s, not seeing them. Also, not hearing them, which is also indicative because those mofos are loud normally. Definitely don't go by unnoticed if they are up close. E2 Emirates 195, landing without even applying reverse thrust. The slots remaining closed all the time. Hey there, Jeffrey. Morning. Checking in from Newark, Texas. I didn't know that Texas also had a Newark. The other Newark. So what time is it in Texas? 7 hours time difference or 8? So that makes for still middle of the night. "7 hours," Sander says. Also has to go. Thanks for joining, Sander. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully see you tomorrow. You might also have heard some quackers making a little bit of a ruckus over here. Now, coot. There is one. Or is that a duck? I thought it was a coot. Yeah, that's a coot. That's a coot. Here we have the black and white liveried duck. And here's some other quackers. It is nice to see a more balanced mixture between lady ducks and gentleman ducks. Often see whole flocks of lady ducks, but not too many gentleman ducks. Or you see a couple of gentleman ducks together. Now it's more of a mixed bag, literally and figuratively. EasyJet A320 just touched down, coming from Edinburgh. Flight time 1 hour and 3 minutes. 13-year-old airplane. First flight April 2010. Now, Tony, are mallard ducks other ducks than ducks? Or would you just call them mallards? Just wondering if mallard is an indication for a specific type of duck. I don't think we have many more different types of ducks than the ones shown over here. With the brown livery for the lady ducks and the, what is it, grey, white, black livery for the gentleman duck. Right, Captain Eddie Boss, bye. See you later, alligator. Stay safe. Be well. See you soon, buddy. Mallard is the species name. Okay, so you guys just refer to them as mallards in general, not so much ducks. Max 8. Iceland Air, new livery. Now, Blue and white, and only the front of the tail has a color accent on some airplanes. I'm not a big fan of this livery, but I don't think a lot. There are many out there that are, which is why it is all the more baffling that they have gone through with changing their livery into from what it was to what it now has become. Luckily for us, we still regularly see the 767s and the 757s in the old livery. Alright, Loco says black and white duck is a bufflehead duck. So mallards and buffleheads. Bina says in Minnesota we call them mallards, but they are a type of duck. Yeah, okay, so it is mallards, right. Hans says, Tony Morley, is that why Dr. Mallard in NCSI is called Ducky? I'm assuming anybody who has a nickname Ducky who has a name Mallard is called so because of that. Let me go back to manual focus because the focus is shitty. Not shitty walk, but shitty focus. Ooh, I think that's a quad engine that is coming our way. More up. Passing north of me from northwest to southeast, could be going to Frankfurt. Has now passed to the east of me, but is still north of me, moving from northwest to southeast. Obvious quad jet. Let me also go to my laptop screen, have a look myself. That does look like a 747, doesn't it? Back. Ooh, got a crossing airplane from the left for the 747. I was hoping for a visual conjunction. Oh, it is passing behind. That is a pity. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So not really a conjunction. Bad timing. Too bad. And a lot Embraer bad landed in the meantime. Embraer 195. And Yillard says Lufthansa retro livery from LAX to Frankfurt. Nice. Hey, Elvin. What's going on, mate? Got another twin jet coming this way. Here we go. Here we go. That is moving from northeast to southwest and is still a little bit east of me, mostly north of me. Now, as you guys can see, the airplane is now close by and is passing from east of me to west of me. But it is doing so north of me, if you guys can still follow what I'm saying. Alright. So still plenty more to see here, that is nice. And also an airplane doing a short circuit to the glide slope. BA City Flyer Embraer 190, flying as Speedbird flight 8489, arriving from London City. Short flight, 34 minutes. The airplane is 11 years old. Its first flight was in January 2012. And I'm doing good, Alvin. Thank you for asking. Not as warm anymore over here as it was in the beginning of the week. While I am standing out here with my t-shirt on, this morning I did come here with my parka on already. Although not wearing a sweater or anything, just a t-shirt under it. And jeans and normal socks, no sneaker socks. To keep the legs warm. It's not overly warm. We have a nice little breeze. Gorgeous sunny weather, but not excessively warm anymore. Quackers are making a ruckus. Or at least they were just now. Let's have a look further up. 2 airplanes visible. In the foreground, Transavia 737-800 arriving from Samos. And after that, in the background, we have a KLM B777-300ER that is arriving from Vancouver, Canada. Absolutely right, Frank. If Yorkshire biker would come to the Netherlands and his bike would get stolen, as Liwe is saying, then he would become Yorkshire hiker. Marco, goedemiddag. Where are they? No, I'm too far to the... So we have a gentleman duck, a lady duck, another gentleman duck, another lady duck, a coot, and is that it? I think that's it. Alrighty, got the Orange Pride coming in next, the PHBVA 777-300ER, today flying in from Vancouver, Canada as KLM Flight 682. Flight time of this airplane 8 hours and 20 minutes. The airplane is 15 years old. Its first flight January 2008. The PHBVA, aka the Orange Pride. Hey, Mr. Jackson, good morning, buddy. Benny, goedemiddag. And Frank says, get a ducks here, say, yo, ducks up. Absolutely. Sup, duck? Right, next up is Delta Airlines Flight 144. It is an Airbus A330-300 coming in from Seattle, Washington. The flight time of this airplane right now, 8 hours and 54 minutes. And this airplane has been flying since July 2005, making it 18 years old. A330, Delta Airlines, potential for loud landing, potential for a wheelie. Let's have a look and listen and see how it goes, how it does or goes. I think that would classify as just a little bit of both. More wheelie than reverser in my opinion, but Russell is begging for attention once again. Really don't know what is up with him. Just like a cat. If you have an itch, you have to scratch. Use your paw. Interesting to see what he's doing. And away he goes. Now, plenty of more bros in the field over here, by the way. That I didn't see before. Other bros over here on other lanterns further up north. And even more. Right, Air Transat up next, A321neo. This is the daily flight arriving from Toronto, Canada. Flight time of this airplane, 6 hours 43 minutes. The airplane is 3 years old. First flight was in March 2020. Edgar Allan Crow and Steven Seagal. Terrific. Now, got some birds over here, and we have some over here. Not sure what they're all doing here. There is a Vueling coming. Now, wasn't there also a 747 still coming in? This is Vueling flight 8353, by the way, arriving from Valencia. Flight time 2 hours and 5 minutes. 14-year-old airplane. First flight, May 2009. I suppose that is what is happening here, Lieve. You can watch us, we can watch you. Meanwhile, a Chinese triple by the looks of it, flying back to China. That would be China Eastern. China Eastern flight 772 back to Shanghai. And we have a KLM 737-800 arriving from Madrid. That looks like the old livery, the previous iteration, with the straight line between the top and bottom part. Yeah. Which apparently is the only airplane in the fleet that still has this livery. Not sure who it was, someone in the chat said that the other day. And she's coming back from Madrid. 15-year-old airplane, first flight January 2008. And interestingly enough, we are going to see a second 737 MAX 8 in the new livery from Iceland Air. Normally you would get one in the new livery and also one bigger in the old livery, the 76 or the 75. Not so much today, unfortunately. Iceland Air Flight 506, 737 MAX 8, arriving from Reykjavik. Flight time 2 hours 41 minutes. 4-year-old airplane, first flight April 2019. And Yillard says the 747 from Cathay Pacific Cargo is now underway from Delhi to Paris. Okay. I thought I counted 5 that were airborne to Amsterdam before I set out. Did I miscount? Did we already see 5 then? Hey Fred, good evening buddy. Hope all is well down under. And Ferdy, good day to you. Watching from South Africa. Fantastic to see the big birds, the big jets fly. Absolutely. Now we have plenty to see over here. I'm also watching and see some contrails in the sky. Got some smaller airplanes coming in. So not too exciting. Let's have a look and see what this is. Moving, I think, from Frankfurt to the United States. At least that's what almost all traffic has been doing so far on this route from south east to northwest. Twin jet has passed to being west of me, but it is still south of me. And another Transavia just landing over here. Having arrived back home from Kos in Greece. Ah, thanks Jelmer. Jetliner images, sorry, misread there. Reflections. Embraer 192 Billund passing over here. And further to the north we have another Embraer coming in to land. KLM flight 1766 arriving from Frankfurt. Flight time 44 minutes. The airplane is 5 years old. First flight April 2018. Not able to see the next traffic yet. There is another one further north. And not the longest of wheelies. Ah, Aero Mexico is also already arriving. Number 2 right now. There we go. Got a KLM Embraer 190 arriving from Kristiansand in the foreground and Aero Mexico Flight 25 in the background. Aero Mexico flying in the standard livery. This is KLM Flight 1208, Embraer 190, arriving from Kristiansand, flight time 1 hour and 10 minutes. Airplane is 7 years old, first flight December 2015. Hey there, the James Bing. Good afternoon. Aero Mexico Dreamliner in the background. Coming next, flight 25, arriving from Mexico City, 7878. Lovely cloud formations forming in the distance, more land inward in the meantime. At least from this angle, beautifully illuminated. Aero Mexico Flight 25 up next. Arriving from Mexico City, flight time is 9 hours and 57 minutes. This Dreamliner is 8 years old. First flight was in August 2015. Nice use of the reversers there by the Dreamliner from Aero Mexico. Nice to see that they do sometimes still know how to use it. And the Mexican butt shot, although overshot a little bit. There you go, that is the right line. Now, the flaperons still pointing up. As the spoilers lower, you can see that the flaperon now moves to the flap position. Triple use, nice to see. Next up is a TUI flight arriving from Kos. It is a Global X airplane flying for TUI, so it is a somewhat hybrid livery. It's an A320. Flying as TUI flight 1182. Flight time from Kos to Amsterdam thus far has taken this airplane 3 hours and 22 minutes. The airplane itself is 15 years old and has been flying since August 2008. You can see the G of Global X on the outside of the engine casing, so it is a bit of a hybrid livery. Nice to see. Now, next up is Euro Atlantic Airways 777-200 arriving from Beja? Beja? No idea how to pronounce this one. BYJ. Right. Flight time 2 hours and 20 minutes. Where on earth is that? 777-200 ER. 19 years old, first flight April 2004. Yorkshire biker giving us unsurprising news. Assignment of the A380 has been to center, which is expected to open anytime now. It is nearly 1 o'clock. Portugal, Marco says. Okay. And the first airplane to the Zwanenburgbaan is already visible. Now, let's have a look. Our next airplane will be a Transavia 737 arriving from Faro. Bruno says, rare flight from Beja Airport, normally used for private flights. Well, maybe this was a private jet. I mean, if you're wealthy enough, why not buy yourself a private or rent yourself a private 777, right? If you want to get some running in and don't want to walk on a treadmill while you're flying, might be handy. Alright, Robert has already spotted the A380 in the vicinity of Nijverdal. That's good news. It is coming closer and closer by. Unfortunately going to the wrong runway, but that was to be expected. To be lucky with the A380, you really need it to be ahead of schedule. At least 15 minutes or so that it lands before 1 o'clock. It's now a few minutes to 1. And this is, what is it, the second or third airplane going to the center runway already. So you really need to be landing 10 to 1, quarter to 1 perhaps. Although the other week, I think we did have a landing around 1 p.m. That was going to the... Or was it? Now I'm confused. No, I think... No, that also went to center. Big Bird coming up, number 2. First up, Boeing 737-800 arriving from Faro, Transavia flight 5358. 737-800, that is 4 years old. First flight was in January 2019. Alright. Next up, KLM flight 622. Arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. This is a 777-300ER, flight time 7 hours 20 minutes. The airplane is 15 years old. First flight was in March 2008. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, A380. Now passing over Lelystad, so that is still 10 minutes or so out. Okay. Do we have another airplane? Yeah, in the distance visible just about. Hey Infinity, goedemiddag. Nice timing. Good to see you, buddy. Hope all is well. Now, thank you so much, Han, for gifting 5 AMS Live memberships. Really appreciate it, and congratulations to all new AMS Live members. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. You guys are just in time to use your new updated ribbon livery, ribbon tail Emirates livery emoji in a few minutes, when that A380 is coming closer by. Forgot to check if it was a standard livery or not, and if it was the old standard livery or the new one. Over here we have a ghost airplane, all white it looks like. Is that from Avion Malta? Yeah, Avion Express Malta, flying for British Airways between Gatwick and Amsterdam. Interesting that while arriving from the west, this airplane has been assigned to land on the center runway. A320, flight time 43 minutes, 12-year-old airplane. Let's turn around the camera. I can see a couple of airplanes further north. Well, 2 to be precise. Let's see, A320 from EasyJet in the foreground, arriving from Milan, and in the background we have another A320 from Vueling, arriving from Alicante. Hey Jerry, good afternoon buddy, or at least good morning to you I should say. Good to see you again, hope all is well buddy. Now this is EasyJet flight 23853, arriving from Milan. It left Milan an hour and 25 minutes ago, this airplane, and it began flying as a professional airplane in August of the year 2013, making it 10 years old. Little bit more wind, I can sense it, but nothing to write home about. Still some contrails over here. Got another one flying from west to east. Is that still visible somewhere? frame of reference a bit more difficult to obtain with more clouds in the sky. It wasn't a quad-engined airplane that I was trying to point the camera to, so let's just leave it be. Vueling up next, flight 1377 Airbus A320 arriving from Alicante. Flight time no longer mentioned, but 2.5 hours probably. Flight time, the age of this airplane is 11 years. First flight was in September 2011. 777 arriving from Guayaquil, going to center unfortunately. Don't know why they have assigned it to center. A bit odd if you ask me. Normally traffic from the west lands on the westmost runway of the ones that are open, but not today it seems like. So we're missing out on an up-close landing of this 777-200 ER. KLM flight 755 arriving from Guayaquil in Ecuador. The PHBQH. Flight time of this flight so far 10 hours and 40 minutes. The airplane is 18 years old, began flying professionally in September 2004. And this is also what we are going to see of the A380 in a few minutes. However, we can see a fireball if it were to crash and explode. That would come above the tree line. If it doesn't explode, then we should see the rollout like we're doing right now over here. More Vueling. Having just arrived. Where is the A380? Let me zoom out a little bit. Ooh, it is turning onto the glide slope in the north. Can we see something already? I think it's going to be difficult. Really think it's going to be difficult to see something already. This would be the general direction. Something would be visible if it were visible already. I think it is. Oh, is that in the center of the screen? Is that it? Is that a lucky break there? I think it is. Holy shit. Did not expect to be able to see it already. You can also see it grazing the clouds a little bit, it seems like. Or was that not? I think it was, but I'm not seeing any vortices behind it in the clouds. Alrighty. Now, the last airplane of the day, it is the daily Emirates A380 Super, arriving from Dubai, flight 147. Once again, she will be landing on the center runway. The airplane is underway now for 6 hours and 14 minutes, normally 6.5 hours approximately, but we are capturing it a few minutes sooner than normal, I think. So by the time it touches down, it will have flown 6.5 hours roughly. The airplane is 8 years old. First flight was in March 2015. It is in the old standard livery. And we have an Embraer in the meantime landing over here, an Embraer 170 arriving from Marseille. Air France op. And another Air France arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle is up next. And Frank wonders if the A380 is fully booked every day. Now, a friend of mine works at Emirates and he says that they are. Because when he tries to fly... Well, no, he mentioned that it was full. Also, the triple was full. It's also hard to get a seat on board at reduced cost these days, apparently. But apparently they are fully booked. Both the triple and the A380. Right, well, another day of arrivals it was over here. Sadly, looking ahead, it doesn't look like the wind is going to change in the upcoming days. Maybe it switches from southeast to southwest, but mostly the prevailing wind will be from the south in the upcoming days. So I'm expecting that the runway usage that we have seen today will be the same in the next few days, unfortunately. Would love to have done some departures from the other side of this runway, the beginning. But sooner or later I will be back there. So it looks like tomorrow it's going to be another day over here. Weather permitting, but I think we're going to keep it dry in the upcoming weekend. If there is precipitation expected, it will not be significant, and also probably not for an extended period of time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to wrap it up. It has been another blast for me over here. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Thanks to everybody who was so kind to donate super chats, super stickers, super likes, become a member or donate memberships, donate through PayPal or buy something in the merch store. A big thank you also once again to the moderators for keeping the chat a friendly place, and everybody for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm looking forward to seeing you all again soon. Hopefully tomorrow, if not tomorrow, maybe later during the weekend. For now, I'm going to say goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day, or good night if it is already evening and nearly bedtime for you guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye for now.